Good evening. I want to welcome my esteemed gentle beings here this evening. I'm so glad to see you all. It's been a while since we've gathered together. Some have you. Maybe this is your first time for a UN event. I want to welcome you as part of that. I am Bob Barnhart. I'm the president of the Greater Lansing United Nations Association. We're also known as CLUNA, and that's probably what I'll be referring to us as we go forward. Before I go too far, though, I do want to remind you of MSU's COVID-19 guidelines to please wear your masks while indoors, except when you are eating or drinking. So I'll thank you for that, and I think we all know the rules by now, but so I won't have to bring them up again. Now, as I was saying, if you were planning to be at the Luna UN Day celebration, then you are in the right place. If you were not planning to be at the UN Day, you may still be in the right place. A good place to be. Our theme for this evening is a blueprint for a better future. And our hope is that you take the blueprint home and are inspired to continue the work to construct that better future. My fellow Luna Board of Directors members are trying to do just that. And I invite the board members to please stand, if you would. Yasmina in the back here, and then we have Dave, if you want to wave here, and Tom and Lynn. We have Mary and Dana at this table. We have John standing here, Denise, and we have Hakan and Tassin, and Johanna Bowles are here. So I think that's, oh, and Mary Ann in the back, and who did I miss? Oh, Lisa, yeah, that's right. You're hiding behind Johanna. So thank you very much. I'll tell you, this is one hard-working board, and they keep me busy. I hope you took a good look at them, and if you have any questions about the UN, those are the people to talk with, and we hope that you will take the time to do that. Now, we'd also like to thank our co-hosts for this evening, the MSU International Studies Program, for their support. In addition, this evening's program is co-sponsored by the Peace Education Center, MSU African Studies Center, Lattice, and the UNA Michigan State University. Representatives from those groups, if you're here, could you stand for a minute? I know we have some UNA members, and we have some African Studies. Among our special guests tonight also are members of the Hubert H. Humphrey Fellow Program. And it's a Fulbright exchange program which brings accomplished mid-career professionals from developing countries to the United States for a year of study, professional development, and networking. Present with this evening, and I'll ask you also to please stand, are Fadia Alvar of Yemen, Tariq Tabet of the Palestinian territories, and Mario Milankovic of Serbia. So pleased to have you with us. Now, these are some very talented and interesting people, so I encourage you to take time to get acquainted with them later in the evening. Now, as you can see from our program, we have a great evening planned for you, and I sincerely hope that you find this evening also to be a learning experience. Now, I would like to share with you the UN Day 2021 remarks of the Secretary General of the UN, Antonio Guterres.
76 years ago, the United Nations was created as a vehicle of hope for a world emerging from the shadow of a catastrophic conflict. Today, the women and men at the UN carry this hope forward around the globe. COVID-19, conflicts, hunger, poverty, and the climate emergency remind us that our world is far from perfect. But they also make clear that solidarity is the only way forward. We need to come together to tackle great challenges and advance the sustainable development goals. By ensuring that every person, everywhere, has access to COVID-19 vaccines sooner rather than later. By securing and upholding the rights and dignity of all people, especially the poorest and most disadvantaged girls and women and children and young people. By seeking an end to the conflicts that scar our world. By making bold climate commitments to save our planet and living up to them. And by building global governance that is more inclusive, networked, and effective, as detailed in my recent report, Our Common Agenda. The values that have powered the UN Charter for the last 76 years, peace, development, human rights, and opportunity for all, have no expiry date. As we mark UN Day, let's unite behind these ideals and live up to the full promise, potential, and hope of the United Nations.
What a great reminder of the important work that the UN does day in and day out. And I'm glad to have you here and helping to join in that effort. Now I think it's time to kick it up a notch. I want to introduce to you Isaac, King Isaac, a Grammy-nominated reggae and Afro-jazz singer who also works as Assistant Director of Outreach in the African Studies Center at MSU under the name Isaac Kalumbu. King Isaac began his singing career in his home country of Zimbabwe. To date, he has recorded 6 albums and several singles. A number of his songs have enjoyed chart success in Zimbabwe. Recently, he released a single, Chimhandara, which means partner for life, which he will perform tonight. My friends, King Isaac.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bob. How are you doing tonight? Great. See, I can't do much. I can't move from here. This is a speaking mic, not a singing mic. We'll make it work. I want to sing a song for you. The first song I'm going to sing for you is called Singing Glory. Singing Glory. It's a Sunday today. It would be great to sing a song of that nature. But I need your participation. I need you to help me. So I'm going to teach you the chorus. And it goes something like this. Singing glory, singing glory, singing glory, cause his name is holy. Okay, that's the first line. Let's try that. Singing glory. Come on. Singing glory, singing glory, cause his name is holy. Second part is hallelujah, 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 cause his name is great. That's simple. Let's go. Hallelujah, 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 cause his name is great. All right, so now let's sing both parts. Singing glory, come on. Singing glory, singing glory, cause his name is holy. Hallelujah, 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 cause his name is great. Yeah, that's it, right? So yes, clap hands for yourself. That's very, very beautiful. So if you will start the song, we can sing it. Singing glory. Yes. Are you ready? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Singing glory, singing
name is holy. Singing glory, singing glory, singing glory, 'cause his name is holy. Hallelujah, 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 'cause his name is great. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Lord. Hallelujah, 'cause his name is great. When I look over yonder, what do I see? Jesus coming to set me free. When I look over yonder, what do I see? Jesus coming to set me free. Hey, there's a knock on the door. Who could it be? Jesus coming to set me free. There's a knock on the door. Who could it be? Jesus coming to set me free. Your turn. Singing glory, come on. Singing glory, singing glory, 'cause his name is holy. Singing glory, singing glory, singing glory, 'cause his name is holy. Hallelujah, hallelujah, sing out. Hallelujah, 'cause his name is great. Hallelujah, 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 'cause his name is great. Things that used to bind me, I leave them behind me. I'm believer, then I thank the Lord. Things that used to bind me, I leave them behind me. I'm believer, then I thank the Lord. So now, lift every voice. It's time to rejoice. I'm believer, then I praise the Lord. Lift every voice. It's time to rejoice. I'm believer, then I praise the Lord. Well now, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So nice to sing with you folks. We haven't done it yet. Come on, how far is coming? When I look over yonder, what do I see? Jesus coming to set me free. When I look over yonder, what do I see? Jesus coming to set me free. Hey, there's a knock on the door. Who could it be? Jesus coming to set me free. There's a knock on the door. Who could it be? Jesus coming to set me free. Lord, I'm singing glory, singing glory, singing glory, 'cause his name is holy. Come on. Singing glory, singing glory, singing glory, 'cause his name is holy. Hallelujah, 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 'cause his name is great. Hallelujah, 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 'cause his name is great. Yeah, now. Oh,
Oh yeah. All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful voices coming from the audience. I want you to sing one more song. Welcome. You do one more song? Can you sing one more song with me? Well, this one is a special dedication to the ladies. Because, most people who write love songs, they sing about the young girls. But when they marry them and they have 2 or 3 kids with them, they no longer sing about them. So this is a song for the ladies that have 2 or 3 kids and that are holding their families together. And it's a special song that I'd like to go all over the world because the message is a good one. It keeps families together and it keeps men accountable. So I want to do this song called Chimanda. Chimanda in my Shona language of Zimbabwe means young, beautiful girl. But then it says that young, beautiful girl that I chose has now become the mother of my children. So that's the message in the song. So I'd like for you to sing the chorus of that song. And the chorus of it goes something like this. You are my partner for life, for life. You are my partner for life. I'll be there for you, for you. I'm so glad you're my wife. That's all. That's all you gotta sing. And I think you can nail it. You think so? Yeah. All right, so let's go for it. You're my partner for life, for life. You're my partner for life. I'll be there for you, for you. I'm so glad you're my wife. That's simple, right? Want to rehearse it one more time? You're my partner for life, for life. You're my partner for life. I'll be there for you. Yes, for you. I'm so glad you're my wife. Wonderful. All right, let's do it. You ready? Okay. I appreciate you, my darling. She's gonna like a salute. She know me that is you, my darling. She's gonna like a salute. She know my my pretty, my sweetie, my partner, my bestie friendly, my destination, my pretty, my sweetie, my present. My future, my permanent happiness. You are my partner for life, for life. I'll be there for you, for you. I'm so glad you're my wife. Come on. You are my partner for life, for life. You are my partner for life. Sing up. I'll be there for you, for you. I'm so glad you're my wife. You don't have drama with my mother. Canabel Kama, to no bother. You make a house and home, take care of everything. You make me proud, you make me a king. I appreciate you, my darling. Love you, my darling. She don't need that visa. Come on. My pretty, my sweetie, my partner. My life, you are my partner for life. I'll be there for you, for you. I'm so glad you're my wife. Strong one last time. You're for life. You are my partner for life. I'll be there for you, for you. Okay, 9. fight against myself by going with someone else. How can I be so ungrateful? I'm only thankful, never be unfaithful. Thank you, Lord, for such a blessing. A love like this is so hard to find. My pretty, pretty, my sweetie, sweetie, my partner, my bestie friend, my destination. My pretty, pretty, my sweetie, sweetie, my present, my future, my permanent happiness. Come on, you are my partner for life. Come on, for life, you are my partner for life. Sing it louder. I'll be there for you. For you. I'm so glad you're my wife. Last time. Yeah. I'll be there for you. For you. I'm so glad you're my wife. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, King Isaac. And we will be having dinner now, and we will resume about 6 o'clock. So enjoy your dinner.
Is there any way to turn the volume up? It's difficult.
Value the UN is important work. I would like to invite John Metzger, our VP for Global Education, to the podium to present the GLUNA Global Education Awards. John?
Let me add my warm welcome to everyone here as well to this wonderful event. One of the central objectives of GLUNA is to establish strong and sustained linkages with K-12 teachers and students in supporting global understanding and competency in general, and a more comprehensive understanding of and appreciation of the work and importance of the United Nations more specifically. Recognizing the work and creative efforts of educators and students through our annual Global Education Awards is one of the ways in which we strengthen and celebrate this important connection between GLUNA and our broader community. In preparation for our next year, we would encourage you to think of educators and students that you are aware of who you think might be worthy of recognition of their efforts in promoting global competency and understanding. We plan to open nominations for the 2022 Global Education Awards in around March of 2022. Awardees will be selected in early May in time for winners to be recognized prior to the end of the school year. These awards, however, will be made at the annual UN Day program in October 2022, just as tonight. The nomination forms will be available online next March, so we encourage you to do that. We have asked GLUNA board member and the 2018 recipient of our Global Educator Award, Dana Blank, to present the certificates to this year's awardees. Dana has been an educator at the college and high school level for more than 27 years. Over these nearly 3 decades, Dana has had an exemplary track record of promoting global understanding and competency among students and colleagues at, among other places, Baker College, LCC, and for the last 20 years at Elsie High School. Since joining the GLUNA board in 2020, Dana has taken leadership in promoting new outreach and initiatives to local schools, including, notably, encouraging the head of the Clinton County RESA media programs to incorporate the development of short public service announcements, PSAs, that feature the U.S. Sustainable Development Goals as student assignments. Later in the program, not right now, we will recognize the stellar work of one of these students who developed and created SDG-focused PSAs. Dana, please come join me in.
Good evening. I think the mic is now working. So John just mentioned a colleague of mine. I'd like to point out Mr. Mike Falkpath, sitting over next to me. He is our RISA Student Advocacy Program Director and Michaela's teacher. I think you're going to be impressed with her work later on. So since the beginning of his high school career, Brody Bowen was a student that strived to do better and be better. I mean it on many levels and in terms of his relationship to the world. Brody was and is a doer. Through high school, he honed his leadership skills by being a class officer for the class of 2021. He worked on homecoming events, fundraising, prom planning, and graduation over his 4 years. He did these things through the COVID pandemic, which was very difficult. He was a member of the National Honor Society, doing food drives for the LC Food Bank to help families in the Ovid, LC, and surrounding areas. Mr. Bowen was an associate member of the Ovid LC Awareness and Change Group and helped plan and orchestrate Waverly High School and Ovid LC High School swaps in an effort to bridge the rural and urban divide. He was a go-to to weigh in about topics and activities. He also served as language arts team captain. For 2 years, he volunteered his time at MSU, working concession stands for football and basketball games to earn money to travel to Europe to experience a 13-day Holocaust tour. Increasing his education through studying history, he has found it is a great way to help mold the future. He has worked diligently at the Blue Moon Ice Cream Shop in Ovid in season in an effort to be self-sufficient as an individual. He took as many dual enrollment courses at LCC during his high school years in an effort to save time and money connected to his higher education. He's definitely a go-getter. Currently, Brody works for the state of Michigan for the Department of Corrections. He is a full-time student at Michigan State University and the James Madison College. As he works through his courses, his plan is to major in international relations or constitutional democracy and political theory. He is a member of MSU UNA. This young man has already created a footprint on the world in his own way. I have no doubt in time his footprint on the world will grow. It is my pleasure to present to you GLUNA's Global Education Student of the Year awardee, Brody Bowen. Sorry, Brody. I'm so excited. Brody is receiving $500 from GLUNA and this beautiful certificate.
Thank you very much. Wasn't that a wonderful introduction? I'm honored to accept this Global Education Student of the Year Award and to have audience with Mrs. Julie Keck, my former government teacher and global teacher awardee, with my former teacher and GLUNA board member, Dana Blank, and with my wonderful family, and with so many others who are propelled to action by their mutual dedication to equity, peace, humanitarianism, and environmentalism. The importance of the work of the United Nations speaks for itself and cannot be overstated. The free and equal expression of thought for all people everywhere, the security from and protection against the horrors of environmental calamity, war, disease, and autocracy, and indeed the soul and body of the human race are dependent on the type of international cooperation facilitated by the UN. Some say the idealized world the UN has envisioned with no hunger or poverty, with universal access to adequate education and medical care. A world where we do not persistently violate the earth is quixotic, even absurd. But the true absurdity would be not to try. Undoubtedly, these goals are lofty, and the problems we face are great. But our resolve is greater still, and even incremental progress bends the arch of history towards justice and has the potential to materially impact the lives of billions. Any humble contributions I have made and hope to make in furtherance of these ends, thus, I make happily. Thank you again. Bless the work of the United Nations, and bless you all.
He must have had a great English teacher in high school. All right, our next awardee, Julie Keck, has taught at Lansing High School for 25 plus years in the social studies department. Currently, she teaches government, civics, and economics. Lansing's tagline is that we're a world-class school district. Julie has helped bring that world to OE through her initiatives. Her government classes oftentimes have most, if not all, of Lansing's international student population. She works to incorporate their experiences with OLC students, creating a classroom that is global and educational for all. Mrs. Keck is a member of Lattice, linking all types of teachers in cross-cultural exchange, and an educational group that meets monthly throughout the school year. This group presents topics that are worldwide issues and then offers ways to better understand and utilize solutions in the current classrooms. She is the co-advisor of the OLC Awareness and Change Group that creates a collaborative experience for over 100 students from Waverly High School and OLC High School each year. This group creates a theme and a project that students from rural and urban schools work on together over several days. This year, that project is to create peace poles for each school to display. This past summer, she was a presenter for the U.S. Department of State's Global Teaching Conference. She is a chaperone, taking students on a 13-day European tour in June of 2022 that will center on the Holocaust and its impact on 4 specific countries and the world. Julie has coached volleyball, track, and softball. She has served as a class advisor and model UN coach and is the current quiz bowl coach. In her spare time, she serves on Chesaning School Board, and she volunteers for Chesaning Sports Boosters, where her children graduated. She enjoys spending time on the lake with her husband, Steve. She is most proud of her children, Brett and Brooke. I have a personal affinity for Julie Keck, as we've been like Batman and Robin, yin and yang, and the very best of friends and collaborators, and maybe sometimes co-conspirators, since the day we met and I started at OLC. I say those things with a smile on my face and joy in my heart. We have been teammates, creating experiences for students to understand and experience the world better and together. My admiration for her is endless. It is with sincere honor and excitement I present to you GLUNA's Global Education 2021 Teacher of the Year Award to Mrs. Julie Keck. Julie's receiving a $300 award from GLUNA and this beautiful plaque. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. And I agree with Dana, it's hard to follow up such a phenomenal speech, Brody. This is just, I sometimes feel like I don't have to give a speech because he's a testament to what the next generation is going to do. So pretty excited about that. So I would like to thank everyone. It's with great thanks and admiration to GLUNA, to UNA, Michigan State University chapter, Peace Education Center, African Studies and Center of Michigan State University, Lattice, and all of the wonderful people that I have met through all of those organizations. They have truly changed my life. Robert Lurie, Rachel Goodman, and especially, yes, my partner in crime for the last 20 plus years, Dana Blank. She, and along with all of my coworkers, have made me into the teacher I am today. She is not kidding when she says that we are co-conspirators. I don't think we've been told, well, we've been told no many times, but we work past that somehow. So every one of you has given me and so many others, the most incredible opportunities and experiences that will remain with all of us forever. It is an incredible honor to accept this award. Throughout my career, I've always tried to embrace the idea of global citizenship and share it with my students whenever possible. As we all know, the concept of global citizenship is what propels us into a very sustainable, caring, understanding, and united world. And that is something I emphasize with my students each and every day. And the fact is, as evidenced by Brody here, I've already seen a glimpse of it in my classroom, in cultural exchanges with Lansing Waverly, in the conversations I have had with many of you here tonight. It's amazing to see the progress that we are making in this world, and we can't allow the negative features to pull us back. It's always about progress going forward. But to continue this, we must keep learning from each other, not by listening to respond, but listening to understand. And that is one thing that I try to teach my kids each and every day. Listen with open ears. Only when we listen to understand can we unite as one people, one country, one world. What I have learned throughout my career and the new perspectives that I have attained will continue to grow and evolve in my students, especially those that I'm teaching today and those that I've taught in the past. Brody Bowen, who's with us tonight, is the perfect example of the next generation of activists, and I do mean activists, prepared to make this world a better place for posterity. It is in your hands, in the hands of the next generation, to carry on our mission, and I feel very confident in that. That's why organizations like Luna and Lattice are so vital to the youth of today and to our local communities. Just as we are about to receive so many Afghan refugees, I truly believe it takes the work of all of us to be able to take these people in and show them the love, the compassion that is so needed in our world today. I am not perfect, no one is. So all I can do is try and be better, be more open, more accepting, and most of all, more understanding. And this award presents that journey and represents how that through my career, I have made progress and that I can make an impact, even if it's in my own local community. And now I'm excited to see what the next chapter holds. As I continue on my journey, not only in the classroom, but in the world, I intend to further my work in promoting and supporting the stories of others with compassion and most of all with tolerance for all people. Lastly, but most importantly, I'd like to thank my husband, Stephen, for always supporting me through each and every crazy idea Dana and I have had. Some of you know this, but Steve has had to share me with Dana many times throughout our marriage. Matter of fact, my mother came in, saw Dana's name. I hear a lot about you. So it's been a wonderful 20 plus years. My children, Brett and Brooke, for always giving me the courage to pursue my goals and being my biggest fans. It also makes me very proud that they both have the passion that I do for the world. My parents, Tom and Sue Poyer, your love means the world to me, and really, you're the reason why I'm here. I'm a first-generation college graduate, and it was through their love and support that I'm here accepting this award. Because of them, I was able to pursue my passion for being a teacher. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Congratulations to these very well-deserving award winners. Well done, well done. Now, this evening, we'd like to enhance our international experience, so we're delighted to bring you the Dazzling Daisies Indian Dance Troupe. And I invite their advisor, the Rajaram, to introduce the members and their performance. I think they're coming in here. I think I caught them by surprise here. Oh. Yes, please.
Good evening to everybody. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for giving a wonderful opportunity for us to perform in this UN Day. So thank you so much for that. Secondly, today we are going to perform two different dances. One dance is by all the ladies. So we just wanted to change for us to do one type of a dance. So first we all do, like all the ladies will be doing, the adults will be doing one dance. It's more about today we are going to present the invocation of a traditional dance from the state of Kerala. Basically, when you see Kerala people, they have this the lamp. That's a Kerala. We call it as we call it as velakku in Tamil, but that's like a lamp. We kept it in the middle with the flowers on surrounded it. So it's more like a happiest moment. So in order to, UN Day is all about happiness and good prosperity, good health and everything. So we want to start this also with lots of happiness and prosperity today. So that's what's like a symbolic representation of lighting the candles on the lamp, and then we are also going to offer our flowers to Lord Ganesha. Ganesha is our god, as an elephant face he has. He's always the god of removing the obstacles. We all know this last year, we have so many issues and so many things going on. So we are praying in the perspective of the invocation to make sure. And secondly, we're going to have a small dance with all the girls. As you know, India is a land of unity and diversity, where different people of different religion, caste, and creed, we all live together. You know, India has got many languages. So today, the girls are going to present different cultures in different forms of dance and with different costumes. So please do enjoy this wonderful performance. Thank you. सदा प्रसन्नम् यामि यामि दैवी कामितं शीघ्रं साधयिष्यामि सामि साधितं मया यामि यामि दैवी कामितं शीघ्रं साधयिष्यामि सामि साधितं मया Yummy, yummy, baby, कामितं शीघ्रं साधयि श्यामि सामि साधितं मया രാപ്പകൽ നടന്നാലില്ലവേ താൽപരീശ്രമം മുൻപനേ നിന്നടലെല്ലാമേ വിരവിരടക്കു പരവികോ കരുതരകുട സാഗരകോ വിരവിരടക്കു പരവികോ കരുതരകുട സാഗരകോ മാനലാവണ്യ നാരി മൃദുഹാരി കാരുണ്യ ജയ ജയ ഗൗരി കാരുണ്യ വന്നിടുക ചാരത്തിനാരിത്തം ഏതുത്തവരാടുത്തവ സാരസ്യ സാരമറിവനിക്കും ചാരത്തിന പാത്രത്തം ഏതുത്തവരാടുത്ത സാരസ്യ സാരമറിവനി നല്ല മാനസ്യ ലീലക ചെയ്വനി പാടി വഴക്കി ഇന്നിടവേ പാലം ചേർച്ച ചൊക്കക്കുളം വിടവേ പാടി വഴക്കി ഇന്നിടവേ പാലം ചേർച്ച ചൊക്കക്കുളം വിടവേ വേടിയടിയും നാസുമ ശേടി കൊടിയും കാലമൃദു വാണി ഒഴിയും സഖിയെ കല്യാണി ഘനവേദി സുഖവാണി ശുശ്രോണി നാമിന്നി കുമ്പിയടിച്ചിടണം കല്യാണി ഘനവേദി സുഖവാണി ശുശ്രോണി നാമിന്നി കുമ്പിയടിച്ചിടണം നന്നായി വണങ്ങി കുമ്പിയടിച്ചിടണം നന്നായി വണങ്ങി കുമ്പിയടിച്ചിടണം നന്നായി വണങ്ങി കുമ്പിയടിച്ചിടണം പാർവതി വല്ലഭ ശരണം തരാമേ മംഗളം ചരണം വിമംഗളം മംഗളനായക ഉദരടി സൗഭാഗ്യം ദേവദേവ ചരണം മംഗളനാകുക ഉദരടി സൗഭാഗ്യം ദേവദേവ ഉദരടി സൗഭാഗ്യം ദേവദേവ ഉദരടി സൗഭാഗ്യം ദേവദേവ
Those are the dazzling daisies, my friends. for beautiful and intricate dances. Thank you. We've really added to the wonder and culture of our evening. Thank you so much. Those of you who have been participating in Luna programs in recent years know we give a lot of attention to the Sustainable Development Goals, also known as Global Goals or SDGs. Building on the achievements of the 8 Millennial Development Goals, which the UN member countries pursued from the start of the 21st century, the SDGs are the blueprints for a better future formulated and agreed upon by all 193 countries of the UN in 2015. 17 goals and 169 targets to vastly improve the planet, the lives of people, and of the other creatures residing here to be achieved by 2030. SDG number 4 is quality education. And we asked our next speaker, Jack Sweely, to share some of his experiences in working to develop quality education on an international scale. Jack is a professor emeritus and former assistant dean for international studies and education at Michigan State University. In the first decade of this century, he was co-director of the 17-nation Teacher Education and Development Study in Mathematics, or TEDS-M for short, the first international assessment of learning outcomes in any field of higher education based on representative national samples. He also worked extensively on international development and education, primarily in Africa. As a college administrator, he had responsibilities for developing an international dimension in research, teaching, and outreach throughout the college. Jack remains active in scholarship, focused on the history and impact of the MSU College of Education. Jack will be sharing with you reflections on promoting education for all. My friends, Jack Sweely.
Am I going to be able to see the slide?
I can try to do that, yeah. No, just let him know.
This award, what a surprise for me, and how wonderful. Especially since international studies, international research, and work to improve education throughout the world have been my passions for over 50 years. Therefore, I'm very glad to see that improving the quality of education for all children is one of the global sustainable development goals adopted by the UN. It is wonderful to receive an award that recognizes work toward that goal. The award is especially meaningful to me because it's so hard to know how much impact I've actually had on the education of children I wanted to serve. At the beginning of my career, I was obsessed by the study of France and its educational system. I'm sure that what I studied then had no immediate impact on education whatsoever. It was only later that I drew deeply on what I learned at that time. And the next phase of my career focused on impact, but not my impact. I immersed myself in international assessment research, studies which revealed that there were countries in which children were learning so much more than children in the United States. Since then, these studies have had a big impact around the world, although relative to the gigantic effort and thousands of people involved, the part I played was relatively very small. It was when I turned to work in Africa that I found that the need for more emphasis on the quality of education was so great that it could not be ignored. After huge efforts have been made to put children in school, research revealed that many, probably most of those children in many countries, were learning little or nothing. After initial work in East Africa, I turned to Guinea in West Africa as the best opportunity to make a difference and change this situation, even though everything there had to be done in French, not English. For 10 years, we had World Bank support to develop and test a program like none other at the time. The purpose was to get primary school teachers to take more responsibility for their own professional development and thereby improve teaching and learning in their classrooms. With the help of ministry personnel designated as facilitators, teams of teachers designed projects and competed for small grants to carry them out. The selected teams received the resources and assistance requested in their proposal. After we piloted this program in one part of the country between 1995 and 1997, it was expanded incrementally to other parts of the country. This expansion amazingly worked better than we expected. Each year, the small grants competition began with a series of workshops for groups of teacher teams led by a facilitator. By the 5th year of program implementation, more than 15,000 teachers, representing about 2/3 of the country's primary teaching force, had participated in these workshops. At the workshop, a facilitator presented the program's operational manual and helped the teachers write a grant proposal. Teachers determined the project content and prepared their own budget for the resources they needed to carry out their project. Upon completion, the proposal was submitted to a local jury presided by the prefectural director of education and composed of local educational leaders. The most promising proposals were then sent back to the teacher teams with feedback for revision. The revised proposals were submitted to a regional jury, which made the final decision. The selected teams were given project implementation support. This included a project launch workshop at the beginning of the year, close to school assistance throughout the year from the project facilitator and often other resource persons as well, plus 3 visits by an evaluator. To encourage further school improvement, teams had the possibility of renewing their grants for a 2nd and 3rd year. The premise of this program is that we cannot bypass teachers to improve teaching and learning in classrooms. That making teachers full partners in professional development is a powerful incentive for engaging them in school improvement. And that serious professional development for teachers must take place mainly in classrooms. Indications that this program changed teacher attitudes and behavior were soon forthcoming. One of the early teams rejected the resource person they were assigned when this person did not live up to their expectations. He was removed, and the teachers took over full responsibility for the project themselves. This was unheard of in Ghanaian education, where teachers had never been empowered in this way. Now, to give you a visual impression of the program, I'm going to run through a few slides very rapidly. The first one up there?
Yes.
Okay. This first slide shows you a group of our leaders of the program in a training session. Next, we see a typical rural Ghanaian school, complete with cows up front. We're the teacher training college in La Bay, a regional capital, where we did much of our work. And here you see some pupils who benefited from our work. This guy is a member of our national leadership team. He's seated on his motorcycle, which was the main way of getting for them to get around the country. And next, we see two more members of that team, followed by one of our regional coordinators and another. Next, these are three of our wonderful facilitators. The one in the middle was particularly outstanding. And in this slide, you see one of our teacher teams that work in a classroom. And here are two teachers. Here are two teachers seated with their evaluator in a classroom. At the end of each year, we had dissemination workshops to discuss what had been accomplished. And here you see me participating in one of these workshops. And this, my final slide, is a picture of one of the exhibits prepared by one of these teacher teams for this workshop. We wanted to keep this program going until its philosophy of continuous improvement was thoroughly internalized and institutionalized, even if it took more than 10 years. But that was not possible. To end like that was a disappointment to me. Until recently, I received a message which made me look at it differently. The message was from Bob Prouty, a colleague who played an important role in many World Bank projects. Quote, I was just thinking the other day about the small grants program. I believe it has ended up being extremely influential in our sector, even if this wasn't always apparent at the time. It was the first of its kind, and now there are dozens of programs with small grants components targeting school improvements. Though I still think in many ways the design of your program has yet to be surpassed. I think the program succeeded in making the case that even in low resource contexts, local school leaders could be trusted to make sensible decisions about their school improvement priorities, that they were professionally engaged in the success of their students and teachers, and that they had a lot of ideas to share with one another. It also showed that funding could be successfully transferred to the school level, even when public financing and accountability mechanisms were weak. And it provided an important district level role of quality control and network building that was well ahead of its time, end quote. Whether or not Bob Prouty was justified in making these remarks, This program was the most rewarding and fulfilling of my whole career. It clearly demonstrated that the potential of colleagues in low-income countries to make Herculean efforts to improve the learning of all children. However, in such cases, there's very little that one can do alone. So much depends on others. Hence, I want to express my appreciation for all those in one way or another contributed to whatever has been achieved in my career. And I see a good number of you whom I worked with in the past out in the audience tonight, and I really feel a sense of gratitude. Also in my mind is my wife Sharon, who supported me in the face of all sorts of challenging and sometimes unreasonable demands. And my colleagues in the university and in the development of our programs, especially Marcel Dembele, are also deserving of a great deal of gratitude. And finally, I feel that our colleagues in Guinea ended up doing so much more for us than we for them. Again, I thank you for this award.
Jack, thank you so much. What an amazing effort that was. I'm really impressed. Thank you. I'd like to invite my colleague, John Kessler, back up, our Vice President, Global Ed, to make the formal presentation.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you, Jack. I had a little something to say before presenting it, but I think I'll let that go because we're of the time. But we are offering 3 awards related to the Sustainable Development Goals. Maybe I should say briefly. It's been our tradition. Thank you, Lynn. Been our tradition in GLUNA every year since the Sustainable Development Goals first came out in 2015 to present to local organizations and local individuals, people and organizations who have exemplified the work of the UN and achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. So we're going to be honoring 3 different, 1 organization, 2 individuals. I get the honor of doing the first one, and let me just read a little bit here. It is my honor and privilege to present the first of these 3 awards to Jack Schmiele, my colleague and mentor, and most importantly, a friend for more than 30 years. Bob has already introduced Jack, so I won't be redundant in my brief remarks. Rather, I'd like to emphasize Jack's lifelong contribution to international education through his mentorship of literally dozens of international students from every continent, save Antarctica, I don't think. In addition to scores of US students with interest in international education. Through the ongoing work of these former students who have a deep respect and appreciation for Jack, and we have several of them, at least one of them in the audience, Bella is there. Jack has mentioned Marcial already, and there are many, many others. I lost my space here. His own professional contribution to quality global education has been multiplied many, many times over through the work of the students and that you have both domestic and international students you have mentored. This can also be said of many colleagues in the U.S. and MSU College of Education, whose international work has been nurtured and facilitated by Jack's personal mentorship and encouragement. There are many, many. I've been here I was overlapped 20-something years with Jack, and I know what deep impact he had on taking colleagues who had no international interest before and making them into true international researchers. Jack, I am deeply, deeply honored to present you this trophy. And I'll carry it down, of course. But, can I take it out?
Please. Wow. Impressive.
Oh, what does it say? Jack Schweely, Global Education, Global Goal Local Awardee Award for outstanding work in the support of sustainable development goals of the United Nations, presented by UNA USA Greater Lansing Chapter. And it has a nice globe down.
Congratulations. Congratulations again, Jack. Thank you so very much for your presentation as well. Before joining the Gluna board, I was unaware of the work of Zonta International and its local clubs. What I have learned has impressed me and given me hope. This evening, we are honoring Zonta International, District 15, with a strong nod to the 3 local clubs, Michigan Capital Area, Lansing, and East Lansing Zonta clubs. Yes! Zonta International is a leading global organization of professionals empowering women worldwide through service and advocacy. It seeks to improve the legal, economic, educational, health, and professional status of women. Zonta International envisions a world in which women's rights are recognized as human rights, and every woman can achieve her full potential. Therefore, the organization has a primary focus of support for UN Sustainable Development Goal number 5, gender equality. In pursuing the accomplishment of this goal through its clubs, it also contributes to the accomplishment of other SDGs, such as good health and well-being, SDG number 3, and quality education, SDG number 4. Tonight, we are honoring Zonta International District 15 for its work in promoting the SDG goal number 5, gender equality. District 15 is a charter district of Zonta International and is comprised of 750 members in 35 clubs located throughout Michigan and part of Ontario, Canada. Remember, it is international. These Zonta clubs address a wide variety of issues impacting women. Some examples are supportive programs assisting victims of domestic and sexual violence, ovarian cancer awareness programs, breast cancer research, and providing comfort pillows for mastectomy patients. Also, scholarships are provided for various areas of study. Additionally, clubs monitor laws and policies and their impact on women, participate in hearings and public meetings with local politicians and administrators, and host speakers and panels to raise awareness about issues such as violence against women, human trafficking, and pay inequity. Through its Michigan clubs, District 15 is seeking to end child marriage in the state. Working with Unchained at Last, it supports the passage of Michigan House Bills 4003 to 4005, which protects our young girls by ending child marriage with no exceptions. I am delighted to invite Deanna Cambridge, Governor for Zonta International District 15, to accept this Global Goals Local Leaders Award. These babies are heavy. Zonta International District 15 Global Goals Local Leaders Award for outstanding work in support of the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, presented by UNA USA Greater Lansing Chapter, October 24, 2021. Thank you, Janet, and you and the chapter for all the great work you're doing. And I'll let you share a little bit if you would, please.
Thank you. Good evening. This program today has been amazing. Through our time here together, I don't know about you, but from King Isaac, I feel like I can sing. From the Dazzling Daisies, I feel like I can dance. Neither of which I can do. That's going to be very clear. Our student Brody there, amazing. I feel like our future is in good hands. Our teacher, we know that we have a bright future coming. Dr. Jack, the amazing educational programs all around. So we know because of the UN, the road is becoming a better place. They are empowering, educating, and enlightening all of us in ways that we never even thought were possible. So we're very grateful on behalf of Zonta International District 15 to receive this acknowledgement for the work that we're doing. Today, I want to acknowledge some of our club members that are here. We have members, if you'll stand, from the East Lansing Club, from the Lansing Club, and from the Michigan Capital Area Club. And I'm very grateful that they are here this evening to also share in this award, because it's all of us that are doing the work, all of the clubs throughout our district, as mentioned, which is Michigan and the western part of Ontario, Canada. Zonta is a non-governmental organization with the consultative status with the UN. So on an international scope, we are working, but we have just finished our fall conference with the theme of going back to basics so that we can be prepared for the future, which ties very much into this blueprint that you're talking about tonight. And what's so amazing is that we just voted as a district to have a district affiliation with the Greater Lansing United Nations Association and the Greater Detroit. And the exciting thing about that is that we're bringing the international scope from both organizations, which is a long-standing history, down to the local level and making that connection and helping us all to move in the direction of empowerment for our communities and specifically gender equality. So we are very grateful for this acknowledgement again and for the work that you are doing in the UN and for all of your members. And we receive this with gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you again, Deanna. Congratulations to you and your chapters. I will mention earlier this year, Deanna and three chapter presidents in this area here presented a program through Gluna. We do have that recorded on the gluna.org website, so if you'd like to see that, it's a wonderful program. I encourage you to take time to check out our website and to check out that program. I would like to now invite up Lisa Berg. Lisa is the Gluna VP for Programs, and she will present a special SDG award. Lisa.
Michaela Piggott, a 2021 graduate of Fowler High School and a current student at Lansing Community College, is receiving our first special SDG award tonight. When Gluna invited students to create public service announcements, PSAs, about sustainable development goals, Michaela responded. As a student in the Clinton County Career Education Videography class, she created PSAs for 2 of the 17 sustainable development goals. Goal number 1, no poverty, and goal number 14, life below water, which we will show you after you meet Michaela. Michaela explained her poverty PSA in this way, quote, I was the only one in the poverty video. I recorded each scene, tinkered, added some magic, and used silhouettes. Not only were the silhouettes used to hide my face, but I felt like this effect gave the audience a sense of uncertainty of the unknown. Anyone can experience poverty. There is no stereotypical race, ethnicity, gender, age, etc. that defines a person's welfare, end quote. Those who nominated Michaela described her as creative, talented, and passionate about the world, and said that Michaela appreciated the opportunity to help promote awareness of worldwide issues encompassed in the SDGs. She hopes her videos help shine some light on the struggles faced by many in our world and will motivate people to act. Please help me in congratulating Michaela Piggott, Special 2021 SDG Awardee. Luna is pleased to honor you with a beautiful certificate, which I have here, and a check for $500.
So when I entered the building today, I did not think I was going to give a speech. So sitting at the table, just like, what should I say? Well, first of all, this whole award was a big surprise to me. I wasn't expecting it at all. Dana Blank, she called me on a Wednesday at 9 o'clock at night while I was shopping for Legos at Walmart. And told me that I had done this. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I am very proud of myself for the videos that I made. I'm very proud of them. Mrs. Blank told me that she cried when she saw my poverty one, and that was surprising to me. Nobody's ever cried to my videos. So that was really cool. I'm very honored to get this award. Oh my goodness, I've never felt so much, I don't know, joy, because, I don't know, I'm from a small town. Not many people from small towns get honored like this, so I'm very, very honored. Thank you.
We will now have the opportunity to see Michaela's PSA videos on the screen.
Yes, it's an ambitious goal, but we believe it can be done. In 2000, the world committed to halving the number of people living in extreme poverty by the year 2050, and we met this goal. However, more than 800 million people around the world still live on less than $1.25 a day. That's about the equivalent of the entire population of Europe living in extreme poverty. Now it's time to build on what we learned and end poverty altogether.
Hit play. Oh. Be immediate. Close it. Right now.
Congratulations again, Michaela. Thank you so much. Those are fabulous videos. Thank you. It is now my honor to present the Arthur H. Vandenberg Award for International Understanding, Respect, and Cooperation to Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield. This award is made in the name of Arthur H. Vandenberg, United States Senator from Michigan from 1928 to 1951, who in 1945 announced his conversion from isolationism to internationalism, and led his fellow Senate Republicans to support the creation of the United Nations and the U.S. membership in it. The Greater Lansing United Nations Association with Michigan State University International Studies and Programs presents this award to Linda Thomas Greenfield, permanent representative of the United States of America to the United Nations, for her lifetime career of diplomacy, primarily in the U.S. Foreign Service. Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield was nominated by President Joseph R. Biden Jr. to be the representative of the United States of America to the United Nations, as well as the representative of the United States of America in the Security Council of the United Nations on January 20, 2021. She was confirmed by the U.S. Senate on February 23, 2021, and sworn in on February 24, 2021 by the Vice President of the United States. Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield, a career diplomat, returned to public service after retiring from a 35-year career with the U.S. Foreign Service in 2017. From 2013 to 2017, she served as the Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, where she led the Bureau focused on the development and management of U.S. policy towards sub-Saharan Africa. Prior to this appointment, she served as Director General of the Foreign Service and Director of Human Resources from 2012 to 2013, leading a team in charge of the State Department's 70,000-strong workforce. Ambassador Thomas Greenfield's distinguished foreign service career includes an ambassadorship to Liberia from 2008 to 2012, and postings in Switzerland at the United States Mission to the United Nations in Geneva, Pakistan, Kenya, the Gambia, Nigeria, and Jamaica. In Washington, she served as Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Bureau of African Affairs, 2006 to 2008, and as Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Bureau of Population, Refugees, and Migration from 2004 to 2006. After retiring from the U.S. State Department in 2017, Ambassador Thomas Greenfield led the Africa practice at Albright Stonebridge Group, a strategic commercial diplomacy firm chaired by former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. She was also the inaugural Distinguished Resident Fellow in African Studies at the Institute for the Study of Diplomacy at Georgetown University from fall 2017 to spring 2019. She holds a bachelor's degree from Louisiana State University and a master's degree from the University of Wisconsin, where she also worked towards a doctorate. She received an honorary Doctor of Law degree from the University of Wisconsin in 2018 and an honorary Doctor of Philosophy from the University of Liberia in May of 2012. I am pleased to share with you a video from Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield, this year's Arthur H. Vandenberg Award winner.
Hello, everyone, and happy UN Day. Thank you so much, Bob, for that kind introduction and for this great honor. And thank you to the Michigan State University International Studies Program and the United Nations Association Greater Lansing Chapter for co-sponsoring tonight's UN Day dinner. This award is named for Senator Arthur Vandenberg, whom I know Bob told you a little about. I was struck by something in particular about Vandenberg's career, that as he learned more, he changed his mind. He went from being a staunch isolationist toward helping found the United Nations. In perhaps his most famous Senate floor speech, he laid out the case for the UN following World War II. There are two ways to do it, he said. One way is by exclusive individual action in which each of us tries to look out for himself. The other way, Vandenberg said, is by joint action in which we undertake to look out for each other. With the help of UNAUSA, we chose the latter, and the UN was formed. Since then, there have been fewer large-scale conflicts than at any point in history. We have prevented nuclear war, enshrined human rights protections, provided life-saving humanitarian aid, and worked to improve the lives of people around the world. Through all of it, UNAUSA was there. Now you continue to promote and protect the value of our diplomacy at the United Nations and help further our goals of advancing peace, prosperity, and security. Today on UN Day, we pause to celebrate our collective achievements and consider how we can shape the UN to be a better version of itself. We must prepare ourselves to face some of the starkest challenges in UN history, from ending COVID-19 to combating climate change. I know UNAUSA will be there, as you had before, to educate, inspire, and advocate. And I know this because the two options Vandenberg laid out are not just true of global powers. They are true for all of us. We can either try to go it alone, or we can work together and look out for each other. I'm grateful to know we're not in this alone, that we have all the members of this chapter and so many across the country working alongside us to build a blueprint for a better future. So thank you so much for this award and for everything you do.
I really appreciate that from the ambassador. Kind of honored that we are the first chapter that she has addressed since she's become the ambassador. So it was kind of exciting to hear that news. And Ryan, Dave, you can keep on moving on up this way. I would like to now invite Dave Wiley. He's our Gluna VP for advocacy and a driving force for the advocacy work that we do. And he's going to share with you a little bit about some advocacy opportunity that you can have regarding the UN peacekeeping program. Dave?
Okay. Thank you, Bob, and for all of you for coming tonight. It's my job to line things out and to show you the door with a command in your pocket as you go. We're celebrating not only the 76th birthday of the United Nations tonight, but we're also celebrating the United Nations peacekeeping operations with having sent more than 1 million people abroad in order to bring about the protection of civilians, prevent conflicts, build the rule of law, especially empower women, protect children, and to deliver field support. It's quite an accomplishment of that 1 million people, many who come from nations who don't have so much to give. Just Bangladesh, Rwanda, Ethiopia, Nepal, India, and Pakistan have about 30,000 of their members of their society working for UN peacekeeping abroad. And so they have learned how not to go with that African proverb, which I learned from my African host during work in Africa, that those who set a portion for themselves usually do not make it too small. So many of these nations have not made it too small, but have given their soldiers, their civilians, their administrators who've had to leave family, some cases to take a salary cut, to go abroad to make this contribution. So what exactly is this UN doing? We've got just a brief video here for a couple of minutes that gives a picture of what is happening at the UN in its peacekeeping operation. Now, a lot of these peacekeepers, as you saw, are far away, eating a cold meal tonight in a dusty tent, perhaps, or suffering the problems of developing life in a strange land. But not all are so far away, and we are honored in the Greater Lansing United Association to have one of our members who is a UN peacekeeper, Ronald Riston, in the back here. One of our members has served abroad, including in helping us to make liaison with the Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya, one of the largest in the world, for which Luna raised $35,000 for a school serving largely young women for a 10-year period. So he's going back this year to help us renew that image. So Ron Riston, please stand with us. So tonight I have two challenges for you. The first one has one part. I hope that you have received from Samantha Dillon, our administrative secretary, the call to contribute to UNICEF, which has now been saddled with the job of distributing COVID-19 vaccines to the entire global South. They're doing it because UNICEF has done it so well for so many years, vaccinating 1/3 of the world's children every year for the early childhood diseases and trying to take care of their mothers too. So with that, with Africa having received, for instance, less than enough vaccines for 10% of its population, are depending on the UNICEF to step up to do that job, in addition to dealing with the flu, HIV, polio, pneumonia, and malaria. So where else can you find a better place to put your dollars this holiday And UNICEF is offering you until November 20th, a 5 times match, which is the only time that I have seen a 5 times match. I've seen 3 and 4 times matches from places, but this year UNICEF has enough special donations to match your gift by a factor of 5. So I do pick up on that. So that's, in addition to UNICEF, when one talks about setting a portion for itself, for oneself, and it not being too small, I think especially in the United States of America, it's Congress and its administration. Because we are now $1 billion behind in our paying our dues for UN peacekeeping. For all these countries and individuals like Ron are making sacrifices of their life and their well-being in order to make this kind of service to dampen the conflicts and the turbulence in countries abroad. And so $1 billion in arrears, growing more all the time. A representative from California, however, has introduced a bill in the House of Representatives Bill 4420, which will release the cap that the U.S. has on the 26% of the budget to be matched by the U.S., and which will pay our back dues of $1 billion. Right now, UN peacekeeping is cutting missions and reducing personnel because we had set a portion for ourselves that does not allow the payment, the back payment of the $1 billion. So it's time to speak up for UN peacekeeping, and we're sending you away tonight with instructions on how to do that. Tomorrow is a special day. The UN Association nationally is calling for a massive call-in and email in to the Congress, to members of Congress, to support Bill 4420. Information is here. The URL to send an email to Elissa Slotkin or Kildee or whoever is your representative are here. It's all easy, including, by the way, a surprising new letter we've gotten from Elissa Slotkin with very strong support for the UN. But she has not co-signed the sponsorship of 4420 in order to change the US law and let us pay our back $1 billion debt that we owe at this time. So we're asking you to take this in hand and to do 2 things, and only 2 things tomorrow, because across the entire nation, tomorrow we're having thousands of UNA members call in to say co-sponsor and back HR 4420. It's a simple message, and this leaflet that you'll get at the door as you leave, when by the way you leave your badges as well, can help us to achieve that goal. Michigan has out-called and out-messaged to the Congress about pro-UN issues for several years, above, for instance, California and New York, which have many more chapters of the UN Association than we do. And in terms of the proportion of the UNA population, messaging conference, Michigan has been in the lead. So, in this state where everyone likes to claim that they're number one, here's another chance to try to do that. So as you go tonight, I'll simply remember a little paraphrase of Mr. Rogers' Martin song. Tomorrow, we'll start the day tomorrow with an email, a phone call, a 2.
Thank you, Dave. Now that song's gonna be stuck in my head. Well, I think we've had a terrific evening, don't you? We have experienced some wonderful music and dance from foreign lands. We have given awards to several outstanding individuals. We have heard from some amazing people like Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Jack Schweely, and Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield. We have been given an advocacy activity And hopefully, we have learned many things of value that we can take away from this gathering and continue working together from a blueprint to build a better future. I encourage you to stay a while and mingle with other guests. Please remember, though, to wear your masks until you have departed the building. You can keep your name tag if you wish. But we do have a basket in the back that you can drop it in if you don't really care to take it home with you. You're welcome to take a UN flag if you wish, but not this one. And some of you, if there's more than two that want to fight over it at your table. We're a peaceful people here, peacekeeping, just remember that. And finally, that's it. Finally, I just want to thank you all for being here, and I am just delighted to have been able to be the MC for this, and I'm just delighted by all the people I've met and the awards we've given. So thank you and have a great night.
Play some music in the background.